weekend, along with everything else that was going on, we had Relay for Life that went on in high school. We also had 400 runners come through town that nobody knew about because they come in from 5 o'clock in the afternoon until about 7 o'clock in the morning the following day. But we put them up in the new high school wrestling room for sleep, showering, etc. And the First Presbyterian Church youth provided the sustenance in form of pizza and water and that sort of thing. And it went rather well.
Okay. Mike?
Nothing.
Wow.
I don't have a thing either.
Okay. Okay.
I actually had something here.
Okay.
I reviewed some airport, a couple of documents for the airport manager, and I should have referred it back to our clerk for consideration for the council. That was my error. I've become lazy since we don't have a city manager.
Should I be tougher on you?
Yeah, you should be tougher
Okay.
on me. I think the city it was one of those things where I just assumed, and I shouldn't have assumed, that the council would get it in their packet and consider it. And so it didn't appear in front of you today because that was my boo-boo. But we do need to have it reviewed and decided upon next meeting, because the contracts are effective July 1. If they don't get signed by July 1, nothing horrible happens. But that's why we have to act on it next meeting. So I apologize for that delay.
I already have 3 that's been signed and returned.
Yeah, well, if they're already signed, as long as the council approves the language, we're okay. If the council changes the language, we're going to have to renegotiate those contracts.
Okay.
But is there a way that we can see more? I've asked the committee, and I've asked the mayor several times to see his business plan, to see some other things.
This is just on the T hangers and stuff that he's talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's solely the T-hanger
Okay.
and the electrical vault. That's all it is.
But when are we going to do the contract talks?
Well, that goes back to what we discussed a couple months ago. I want to go slow, and I got some research to do.
Okay. But there's some things, as well as, goals and other things, that I think the
Yeah.
whole council should see instead of just the committee.
Yeah, these are just two. Yeah, and I
Okay.
agree.
Okay.
I think the whole council should approve these agreements, these 2 agreements, because it's your property, and
Right.
you're the ones who are getting the check. So I agree that it's something the council should all approve, and that was my error in not making sure it gets referred back to you. And
So now, as far as the other issue that was taken off the agenda, you're saying
No, that's fine.
that'll be
Next
taken.
meeting?
That should be taken up next
Okay,
meeting
all right,
too.
that's all I wanted to make.
So there'll be 3 airport issues next meeting, not just
Okay.
the one you took off for today. There'll be the addendum to the contract, and then the 2 lease issues.
I just wanted to clarify
Yep.
that.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Barb?
I've given Carter, upon his recommendation, I drafted a letter to our software with regard to our maintenance agreement. We received an invoice for $11,000 for our annual maintenance, so we're just going to prorate it. I've got a letter drafted to them that I'm going to send, or it went out in today's mail. We're going to prorate it, so I took that amount and divided it by 12, and we're just going to pay it monthly, so we continue our support with them until we terminate the contract with them and migrate to the new software. So, other than that, we're just working on some payroll issues. We worked on balancing this past month, had a couple issues, but worked that all out, was able to get the financials on this month's, or today's agenda. Just working towards getting the materials together for migration for the software company right now. That's all I have.
Okay. I just have a few things. I will be making appointments for the council to approve for the library board and also Parks and Rec Advisory Committee. So if there's anyone in the community that's interested in volunteering for any of these, you can go to the city's website, and there is a volunteer application form that you can print off and fill out and either send to City Hall or drop it off here so I can consider you for any of these appointments. Also on next Saturday, every one of these weekends are always busy, but next Saturday the 14th is also Cedar Valley Hospice Rabbit Donnelly Golf benefit. if anybody's interested in attending that. Which they also have a raffle for a 42-inch television that I happen to have raffle tickets for. They're $1 a piece, in case anybody's interested. Gotta get my plug in. I was out of town for the weekend, but I'm glad to hear all the good comments about Amnesty Day. This was a trail run. It was something that was initiated because the people in the community were asking for it or asking about having such a thing. So we tried getting it all put together. We're not sure what this is going to cost us for the whole thing. But it'll be a learning experience. We'll find out what what feedback we get from the community, the pros and the cons, and any suggestions. I do look forward to hearing some of that. We'll find out more from the people or the vendors who were involved in it as to how it went for them and how many things they did collect, including waste management, how many trucks or how many pounds went over the scales. And so we do hope to make this at least an annual event, if not twice a year. So we'll see how it goes. We'll probably be making changes for the next time, but this is our first start, so it's a good way to do it. Kim Taylor, who is an aide for United States Senator Tom Harkin, will be here in Independence at the fire station on Thursday of this week, June 12th, at 2 o'clock, I believe, is that? It's part of In the Footsteps of History tour, something that Mr. Harkins does, and she's representing him. And because he's been involved and helped us to get several grants for different things for our fire department, this is something she's coming to do a news photo op type of thing or whatever to get information about how those grants helped and what it did for our community for Senator Harkins' records and stuff. So. I'm not sure how big a group this is. Originally, when I talked to her, it was only going to be a small group, and I think she had like something on a laptop that she had information to share, so I don't know that it's really a big thing that we want everybody in the town to come to. But so just letting you know if you see anything or whatever, that's what's happening. I guess the only other thing, we already talked about the mowing part of it. I can't think of anything else for mine for reports and such, so I had a very interesting and relaxing weekend out of town. It's kind of nice. So I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
You got it.
Okay, motion from Vaughn, second.
Second.
Second from Dallenbach, roll call.
Brown,
Yes.
Holland,
Yes.
Lennius,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Schill,
Yes.
Dallenbach,
Yes.
Grover.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Everybody have a good evening.